Well, hello, everybody. That's not the right background, but this is Andrew Dukowitz from Zone Coverage, and this is another episode of the Missing Wolves post-game podcast live stream, something or other. And this is like an official collab episode. I mean, Crunch Wears No Pants, 2/3 of the members, only Jally, who is, I'm assuming, DJing. I don't know what else he would be doing on a Friday, but Brandon, Beck, and Nate Alsdurft are here. How are you guys doing?
We're good. I assume Jelly's probably DJing, but he has been like weirdly cryptic about his
he
unavailability.
just said he was busy this weekend, but he didn't say anything specific.
I like how Jordan, who is maybe the most unabashed member of Crunch Wears No Pants, is being strangely cryptic about this specific weekend. Should we start like making up bylines and stories about what he's doing? I don't know how to handle this.
Maybe he's starting his own rival podcast and he's like working on that all weekend. I don't know.
Crunch Wears Morph
Could be
Suit.
anything.
He's probably just doing something really chaotic. Maybe he's the person that was in the Crunch mascot costume that just fell down on the broadcast today.
I was like telling the other media guys in the locker room while we were waiting for Ant. I was like, no, you guys don't understand. He like ate it. Like,
did he hit someone? Like, did he land on someone's lap or something?
I didn't see he landed on someone's lap. I just saw him disappear and was like, oh, well, there goes Crunch. Still came back and provided like great energy for the Brick and for chicken. So, I mean, if you have the Wolves app, go get some chicken.
Is there a Crunch? Is there a Crunch alternate in the back in case he gets injured? Like,
do
they have like somebody in the stands at any point in case he has something happen?
Let's pull back the curtain on some Crunch lore for you guys, because like even at like charity events, right? Like when you're going to like meet with little kids, Crunch pulls up in his own trailer. You're not allowed in that trailer. No one is in that trailer except for Crunch and like a handler from PR.
A handler, like someone at the zoo, like he's a real animal.
People that are, I swear to God, there are 3 people whose job description is pretty much Crunch follow.
Like when you say handler, like I'm literally seeing him with a collar and a leash, and they're
it pretty much
like
is.
What was like the show from like the early 2000s, like the Dog Whisperer or something?
Caesar Milan.
That guy, Caesar Milan. Yes.
Yeah. They employ Caesar Milans for Crunch, and he comes out of his custom trailer, does the whole Crunch thing, goes back into the trailer, never says a word, never nothing.
I would hope not.
No, it's like even when it's just me, Crunch, handler at like a kid's book event an hour before it starts, he is still in full Crunch mode, just like dancing around, like hyping himself up. Guy has no off switch.
Is Crunch a diva? Are we learning he maybe has a little diva in him? Wow.
I mean, he could be a diva. It also could be that like there's a clause in his contract that if anyone finds out who he is, he's like sentenced to death or something.
I mean, there's only 30 of these. There's only 30 of these jobs out there, and he's reached the pinnacle of his field. So, I mean, he deserves to have a little bit of an edge, I think.
Yeah, that's my Crunch fun fact for the Crunch Wears No podcast, or Crunch Wears No Pants, Prowl Sometimes Wears Pants podcast. Prowl, same thing.
Thank you for using our legal name. I appreciate it.
I'm expecting at some point a hyphen to be added on Spotify. So when I'm listening, I see hyphen. I will also share. I listened to your episode that came out today, and one of my greatest achievements in in my journalism career is no longer being introduced on a Crunch Wears No Pants podcast as Andrew from Zone Coverage. I'm just Andrew Dukowitz now. I was like, wow.
Or Dookie.
Nice.
We like calling you Dookie sometimes.
We love Dookie.
Ron Johnson, oddly enough, started calling me the Duke, like Gophers wide receiver Ron Johnson.
Oh yeah,
and now like
and Steelers safety,
call me
right? Was it?
He?
Yeah, he was in the NFL. He was. I think it was the Steelers that he was. He
played
safety.
receiver in college and he played safety in the NFL. That's a wild position switch.
I think they drafted him to play defense. I don't remember if he switched in college or not.
But yeah, that is the new height of my career. I am
Duke
also
is pretty cool.
A little upset that.
So I'm gonna be honest with you, Durf. This is a different Ron Johnson.
There's more than one? What a unique,
very generic name.
There can't be more than one.
The Steelers' Ron Johnson went to Eastern Michigan, according to ProFootballReference.com.
I think it might be the Ravens.
Well, this guy is a safety for... This guy was a safety for the Steelers. I think this is who you were thinking of.
No, but there might be more than one Ron Johnson. And I might
Here you go. Ron Johnson Jr. from Minnesota.
Probably more than one Ron Johnson.
He did play for the Ravens, but he was a wide receiver.
Like I said, he was a wide receiver for the Ravens. Why are you putting words in my mouth? I never said that. There's no audio proof of it at all.
We've been recording for 5 minutes.
I did immediately really feel like FOMO that I could have called Durf and been like, is this the sound you're looking for when the trombones were going? Like, the fact that didn't go through my mind, like I messed up on that one. That would have been iconic.
It's okay.
I'll do better next.
It's all good. It's all good.
We all fall short sometimes.
It's a learning opportunity.
So Wolves didn't fall short. I'm just we'll hard cut into it. 124-110 over the Kings. I mean, Brandon, I'll kind of start with you because I know you're a stats guy. Sabonis, 31 points in the first 3 quarters, 3 in the fourth quarter, and the only time he scored was a garbage time 3-point shot. I mean, how weird is it that this Wolves team now seems really prepared to play bad teams, but still has that like switch that they can just flip on where the game's over and they don't have a chance?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, that's kind of what happened. Was it really felt like they were coasting a little bit in those first 3 quarters, but also like it was just kind of a weird game too. Like, it had weird vibes. Like, Jaden kept getting hurt, so the rotation got mucked up right away in the first quarter. And we know Jaden's kind of a rhythm guy, and I thought they did a good job just like subbing in Mike Conley and then subbing Jaden back in and not letting it disrupt like the entire rotation pattern too much. But like, they got off to that big lead, and they are kind of a team that has a propensity to be like, oh, this is a team that we blew the doors off a week ago, and now we have this 15-point lead. Like, we can just kind of coast through this one. And there were a couple of reasons for that. Like, Rob wasn't very good. Nas wasn't very good until the fourth quarter. But yeah, then they did just kind of turn it on in the fourth quarter. Like, after a really, really poor defensive effort through 3 quarters, like, the Kings only scored 11 points outside of garbage time in the fourth quarter. Part of that was due to really good defense. There was also like kind of a lid on the basket for the Kings. Like, they just stopped making their floaters and layups. There was like a legitimate like 20-minute period where the Kings didn't score. Like, they were stuck on 100 forever. So yeah, I mean, and then it all kind of comes out to a win that they kind of like ran away with after it being really close for the majority of it.
I mean, the other thing that like popped off the screen for me is just Anthony Edwards again comes out of halftime and just is incredible. I mean, 8 of 8 from the free throw line, scores 17 points in the third quarter, plays every minute of the third quarter. I mean, this wasn't something he did last year. What's been different with him, Nate?
Well, I do think like this game was a little bit more of the ant of last year, this game specifically, or at least the first half, I should say, where he hasn't really done much of that this season so far, because he's kind of, as he said, like he's trying to hit his game high in points every time he's playing like the lesser teams. And so it was like a little weird seeing that from him, just kind of not lazy, but just like a slow start to the game. And then he just like chooses to be great again, like just, it's like an on-off switch for him. But yeah, I mean, I think like from a mentality aspect, I think like getting hurt early on probably lit a little bit of a fire under him, like not being able to play and being sidelined and watching his team like lose a couple games they shouldn't have without him. But then also just like, I don't know, just missing some time early, and he's a competitor. And I think that, I don't know, that fuels him a lot. But yeah, I think this game to me felt like I wasn't too concerned, but I did have the weird vibes, like Beck was saying. It just felt like a wonky start to things. But it felt like to me a mixture of just like 3 days off where you're like a little bit out of rhythm with things. And then also knowing that you have a back-to-back and you're playing the Denver Nuggets tomorrow. And so there's probably a little natural humanness, as we know this team is apt to do, where you're taking your foot off the gas a little bit and seeing, yeah, it's a cup game. We want to win. Like, we know point differential matters, but we also want to make sure we have, like, we're playing the best basketball player in the world tomorrow, probably, assuming he's healthy.
He's questionable with a wrist.
I know.
I'd just give him the day off if I were them.
keep him safe. Keep him safe. But yeah, I'm sure there's
until Christian Brown comes back, honestly.
I mean, is he any good without Christian Braun? We don't even know. It might just
no sense. There's no sense in risking it when they're not full strength. So just like coast. They can come back right after the Christmas Day game against the Wolves.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I mean, we'll get into the Nuggets game, but like this is going to be the first like actual. Yeah, New York was a test, right? But like this one is. The Nuggets are a team that the Wolves have traditionally kind of owned over the last 3.5, 4 seasons. Jokic is still a one-man wrecking crew. Like I think you could put like college players out there with him, and he would still like have a winning record as a team because he's just insane.
I mean, there have been some college players on that team over the years that he's won championships with.
Though.
Yeah,
like. He's been unbelievable this season. And like that game yesterday against, was it the Clippers or is that 2 days ago? Whatever. The game where he had like 50 points in like 11 minutes or something.
Which is insane because like he could do that every night. Like to me, that's like the scariest part about Jokic is like, he just doesn't, because I don't think he enjoys playing basketball that way. But like they won the game by 14. He was plus 28 with 55, 12, and 6 in 33 minutes. I don't know what you do against that. Like, it's not like the Clippers were just not trying to defend him.
I mean, the Clippers do kind of not try. That's kind of their thing.
They have Zubac. He's like a competent center.
That's true.
But like back to the Wolves side of it, let's peel it back here, because like one thing that's been really like impressive for me is that the Rudy Gobert situation has gotten like significantly better on offense. Like Anthony Edwards is actively looking for him. Jaden is looking for him. Dante is like throwing him lobs. I don't know why it took, theoretically, last season they saw him like single-handedly beat a Lakers team in a closeout game. But like, it seems like it took at least 5, 6, 7 games this year before they started to trust him again. But like, Brandon, what's their ceiling if Rudy is like an actual competent part of the offense that is involved?
I mean, whether he's a part of the offense or not, like right now, the offense is just cooking whether he is involved or not. Like they are just one of the best offensive teams in the league. And that's with him on the floor a lot, because that's the only way that they can defend.
It is literally still the only way they can defend. Like that's not even an exaggeration.
But yeah, he is not like, has not been as problematic this season as he was last year. And part of that is just like their willingness to give him the ball. Like you said, and in particular, like he's done a lot more of those like fake high, like he'll get it and Rudy will go on the roll. And traditionally where Ant will kind of like throw just like a swing pass to the other side that's not really open and just kind of reset the offense, he's doing a lot of like that fake high bounce pass to Rudy, like right around the free throw line. And he is just doing a better job catching and finishing on that, distributing out of that. Caveat that he's been doing it a lot against not very good centers. Like Domantas Sabonis is like 6'8" with a negative wingspan. So that is just naturally going to allow Rudy Gobert more freedom to do his thing. So I mean, Nikola Jokic, not the pinnacle of defense or anything like that, but he is a big body, a smart defender. So it'll be interesting to see if Rudy can maintain that, because when he has been faced with really good competition from the center position this season, he has not stood up to that. But that was also very early in the season when he wasn't in the rhythm that he's in right now.
It's just so hard to tell because there's only 5 or 6 like good defensive centers in the league now. And like theoretically, like Sabonis is a top quality center, but like
he's just so small.
Bend and he's small. I mean, we're gonna go up against Jokic tomorrow here at the Target Center, and like Jokic is a top quality center who I think gets a bad rap on defense, but like he's a plus defender. He's always in the right spot, even though it looks bad.
And he's really handsy. That's the hard part with Rudy, is that the guys who are really
he's
good
gonna get really
hands,
frustrated.
Like, yeah,
that's the thing with Rudy is like if he gets in his head, like as funny as it sounds, like if Jokic gets in his head early, it does disrupt his flow of the game. But I was going to say, to your point about the getting Rudy involved on the offensive end, I actually think it's less about him being involved in our offense, feeding the offense. Like, I think it's good, but to Beck's point, like it's clear we've been a top offense in the NBA without him being super involved for the large part of the season. But I think it's more about him, the impact on defense. I think Rudy's one of those guys, we've talked about this, when you feed him on offense, it actually pays dividends on the defensive end because he can check out of games, because he's so like he does get in his head, and if he's not getting touches or his basket or like, you know, his dunks here and there, he can disengage a little bit. So I do think that there is a like through line between offensive production and defensive, him being as good defensively as he can be.
I mean, I would add to that, like I'm going to add to that, but I'm going to first say the caveat of like, yes, Rudy Gobert makes millions of dollars to be a defensive first center. Like, I understand the pushback from fans and like other players that are like, he gets paid way too much to check out of games. Like, I get that, but there's also the human nature of it, of like when the front line of attack on ball defense isn't doing their job and Rudy is just getting elbowed in the face and like getting layups taken on him over and over and over and over again. And then on offense, he's like setting really physical screens, getting hit in the face again, trying to go for an offensive rebound. And that just happens for like 30 minutes. Like, I think at some point it is just human nature where you're just kind of like, all right, this sucks tonight. I'm not going to get hit in the face again. Whereas like, I mean, tonight, it's not like he went crazy, but like when you have, you know, the first bucket of the game goes to you and you got that adrenaline going, or in the fourth quarter, you get hit on a short roll and you can like dunk it and get that adrenaline going again. I think that like you're 100% right. Like that elevates his defensive level. It elevates his screen game, like everything. But like, I don't think it's just like as simple as like, you know, Rudy makes a lot of money, he should just be better on defense and like do what he's told, because like that's not how humans work.
Right.
Yeah.
It is nice to see.
Sorry, Durf, you go.
I was just gonna say, it is nice to see the rest of the team getting hit in the face in solidarity. Everybody tonight was getting elbowed, smacked, whatever.
We're gonna need the city editions in a couple years are just gonna be like mask themed because everyone's wearing masks.
Honestly, like a full rotation of masks would be fire. All right, Beck, make your actual basketball play.
But like last thing on Rudy is to his offensive impact. I think a big part of it too, and bad team caveat, like they're feeding him the ball, he's catching it, but he is also finishing at a much higher level because he's dunking more often. Yeah. Like he is doing way less of the weird Rudy finger roll, trying to show off like all the skills that he worked on in the offseason. And he's just getting it, seeing an open lane, doing a power dribble and yamming it on people. And that's the thing that he has actually always been good at. Like when he has led the league in field goal percentage, it's been because he is dunking it all the time. And this team's really bad at throwing lobs to him, but he's getting a lot of dunks on that short roll right now because teams are kind of ignoring him, and Ant's hitting him with those bounce passes. and he is being like assertive and decisive and going and dunking it instead of trying to do like a weird Rudy Euro backhand finger roll thing.
Yeah, but when he does it though, and it goes in, it's pretty cool.
It looks
is
so
pretty cool.
bad, and it's so funny.
I love it. I love it when it happens though, or is coast to coast. Oh, so
Last year, I asked Jaden about that. I was just like, I mean, what goes through your head like when he's going coast to coast, and Jaden's just like holding back laughter, like,
Don't
"Ah,
hurt yourself.
sometimes you just gotta let him do Rudy." It's like, oh man,
you don't want to look at it, but you can't look away. But like I said,
Exactly.
the 1 or 2 times it's worked, it's been beautiful artwork.
his like fadeaway last season, like mid-range shot, like that.
The
I don't
one in
know.
the
Pretty
game
cool.
7 fadeaway made the
Yep.
whole trade worth it, no matter what else happens for that one shot.
I am going to throw us over to an ad read when we come back, though. Phil in the chat brings up a couple good questions about Jaden, so we'll talk some Jaden after that. But first, Bills. Well, hello. Thank you, Livestream Andrew. This is Ad Read Andrew. And today we have Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, the presenting sponsor for the Missing Links podcast. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling strives to inspire people to follow their ideas, working with respect and understanding to create a quality, tailored result. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, located in Blaine and serving in the North Metro area, is here to help you with your building and remodeling needs. I can say personally, thanks to Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, I have a beautiful deck in my backyard and countless projects that I started, they finished. Get started on your new deck or remodel today by calling Isaac at 763-710-5686. And we're back with another ad read, this time for Pence Homes, the presenting sponsor of Hitting the Hardwood Network. From the best tools and technology to transparency throughout the entire process, Nate Pence and the Pence Homes team is the top choice for buyers, sellers, and is proud to support you and your home ownership goals. Get started today by calling 612-308-1122 or by emailing info@pencehomes.com. .com work. The over wins tonight. LJA 23 over on YouTube says Crunch wears full green screen jumpsuit too. Apparently, I don't know how much they showed that on the TV, but that was jarring.
We saw one photo of him like laying in like a seductive position across the baseline with the full green jumpsuit on.
Yeah, for people who have come to Wolves games, they did that thing where they blindfold a fan and make them crawl on their hands and knees to try and find Crunch. And Crunch, like, first off, morph suit on a mascot costume. That was interesting. But Crunch was just kind of laying there seductively for like 2.5 minutes as the fan did not find Crunch and did not get their prize pack.
Because he blends right in with the floor in that thing. How are you supposed to even see him?
He's blindfolded. Like, they didn't need the morph suits. It served no purpose other than now it'll be.
It was strictly for the onlookers, which didn't need it either.
If there is one thing this Wolves team is good at, it's like going full into what the meme of this is going to be, and like you guys, top of the world right now with the trombone womps. Like, I was sitting like in front of Sneaker Reporter and Kyle Tyke, and every time they did it, I turned around and was like, "This is effing insane, right?" Like, they're doing an internet meme after every basket Julius makes.
It's insane. I don't even like. I don't even feel the need. I'm going to, but I don't even feel the need to tweet the video because it's like happening on my screen.
Yep.
I don't feel the need, but I'm going to.
Yeah, I'm absolutely going
I will be posting the Goosebumps video as much as I can.
It's just still wild because that, like, you guys, you've been to Wolves games. Like, Brandon, you're coming for a company outing. Like, that bass hits on that trombone.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait for my boss's boss to be like, "What's this all about?" And me be like, "Let me tell you."
And you're like, I am in fact the creator of this lore.
I want to make very clear. I need to emphasize this all the time because I posted it into oblivion. I did not make the Goosebumps video. Jordan made the Goosebumps
this was all
video.
Jordan.
And I need to credit him at every turn because I posted it so much that people started to think I made it.
Did the original video actually get taken down, like copyright struck, or like
Yeah,
what
it was
happened
a
to it?
DMCA thing because you're using like copyrighted music.
Yeah,
I
so
assume.
Jally
Somewhere
posts
Travis
all.
Scott's manager was like, we cannot allow this to keep on going.
This is
Or
getting
it
more
probably
plays
got, like,
than the
flagged
original
by
song.
some AI thing or something.
Yeah, I'm
It's
sure
like,
that's what
It's
it
a
was.
lot better to think it's Travis Scott personally sitting there, you know.
But yeah, Jally posts all his videos from his burner so that when he does get flagged for copyright, his real account doesn't get taken down. So he lost his whole burner for a little bit, and then he got his burner back, but the video was gone.
Before we get into Phil's Jaden, Professor just says of the starting five, Rudy is the fifth best offensive player, so he's getting exactly the touches he should. I do kind of agree with that. Like, I don't think they're using him too much. It's just nice to see him finish a game with more than 2 shot attempts. Like those ones, I always feel for Rudy after those games because, like, man, you got hit in the head so many times for
But
2 shots.
He also has to be involved, or the defense is just going to ignore him, and then that's going to neutralize his ability. Like, then you can't have him screen because screening is just bringing a double team if you're not going to pass it to him. Like, he does have to be involved just to like keep the defense honest. It's like the football. You can't just run it the same direction every time. You got to throw some counters in there, or they're just going to put all the defenders in the place where you keep running it.
And that's just always been the conundrum with Rudy Gobert is how do you feed him without force feeding him? Like you just have to find that balance.
Don't post him up.
And that balance changes per game.
That has completely left the playbook. I haven't seen a post up more than like one of those all season. Phil asks, has Rudy ever gotten a foul called for him getting hit in the face? Not that I'm aware of, but he does get hit in the face a lot. But Nate, I'm going to throw this one over to you. Just, how happy are you guys that we're getting this version of Jaden? I mean, it is now to a point where I feel comfortable saying the sample size is enough to where maybe 18.5 points isn't realistic for a season average, but 16, I think is perfectly within the realm. And he's probably not shooting 50% from 3, but 38 to 40, I think is doable. But where's your level of Jaden confidence at this point?
I'm elated by this. Our podcast has been pro Jaden for a long time, and it's really fun to see pay off. And I think we echo most of what people in the fan base think, which is Jaden has been this unlock we've been waiting for so long, because you see it in flashes, you see it when there's injuries and he's called upon. He is just he is unselfish to a fault at some point, in his career development, where it's you're capable of this. You just it's we talked about this, you just need to be told to do it. And you're okay, now I'll do that thing. And I think it's been this thing every year where he's a playoff riser, and as the season goes on, he builds this confidence. And it's been we just need this for the full season, man. You got it, you can do it. We need to figure out a way to engage you early. And I feel he's, to your point, the sample size is big. Ant's back, and that was a big concern, not concern, but a big is the Ant touches and the way of Ant being more ball centric and Jaden being in the corner, is that going to disengage him, or is that going to be more of a, he goes back to his unselfish ways? And that really hasn't been the case, partly because we're scoring 140 points a game, and maybe that's just a result of that, adding in, we thought oh, well, for him to have 18 points a game, that means those are points coming from somebody else. But no, we're just scoring 18 extra points, because our offense is just humming right now. So he's playing complete basketball right now, and he's been one of the most important players on the team, if not the.
I really
What's crazy with Jaden is, coming out of Washington, I just looked it up. He was the #1 recruit out of the state of Washington. He was 7th in the class of 2019. And he had a game his senior season where he scored 51 points in 36 minutes. At Washington, he could score in bunches. He's always had this ability. My main thing with Jaden is he is developing like a normal NBA, like borderline all-star player develops. Like this is his 6th season. This is where he should be taking the jump. We're just all kind of whitewashed by like Ant coming into the NBA and being immediately awesome. But like this is how like Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Danny Granger, like this is how those guys, Andre Iguodala, like this is how their careers progressed. And it's just really cool to see Jaden following that path. But Brandon, I saw you were going to say something.
I was just going to say, I really liked the first play of the game, like giving him a post-up touch and letting him like play make out of that too. He looked really comfortable doing that. So that's a good way to kind of like, similar to the Rudy thing, is to kind of force feed some offense to Jaden early so that he doesn't kind of get into the like sit in the corner mode and not so he's not reliant on the ball being active the way it's been in these last like couple of weeks. But you kind of like get him energized early by doing like stuff like that and getting him involved. But like Durf said, I think it's just really encouraging that he has maintained the high level of play with Ant's return, and he has not had to sacrifice as much as we maybe thought he was going to when Ant came back, because he's still being really active in transition. But he was also so good in that time that they're like finding more opportunities to make him like a secondary playmaker when Ant is on the floor. When he's on the floor with like one of Ant or Julius, they're not just having him be a play finisher, they're having him be a play initiator. And he is just thriving in all of that stuff, because it kind of just feels like he realized how big he is.
Yep. I did think,
I'm going to be honest, that might be what happened. The reason he's rebounding better from all accounts, even Jaden himself, is Tim Connolly told him to rebound better. And he was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And he's just like finishing around the rim, because all of a sudden he's like, oh, wow, I have the 3rd best defender on the floor on me. Guess what? That's probably a tiny guy.
He's so long and he's so giant. And I don't think, to your point, like I don't think he realized that up until this point. But yeah, like getting him involved stuff. I know that they like showed this on the broadcast and Jim broke it down, but I can't remember what part. I think it was in the 4th or 3rd. But Jaden set like a fake pick almost, and then rolled to the rim, and they just wide open, like that kind of stuff that they have in their toolbox for him. Ways to scheme him to get to the rim, not just like Beck said, get him, in the corner for an open look. Because then you're also not relying on shooting variance too, where he's been shooting lights out, but also, that's a high percentage look and an easy way for him to get a quick bucket. And again, he's so long, he can do it with ease. I love it.
And everyone shoots better after you've seen an easy one or two come in. And there's a reason why, like, the trope is if a shooter's having an off night, don't let him get to the line to see a couple go in. Like,
or like the Kevin Garnett, like block after fouls thing. Like never let him see one go in.
The reason that is like a trope and commonly said is because it's true. So even for guys like Jaden, if you can start his night off with a layup or like a mid-range shot, that 3 is probably going to feel a lot better leaving his hand, which again, it's always so funny talking to Jaden because, what's different with your shot? Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
That poor guy got the absolute shit kicked out of him tonight, though.
Let's talk about that, because he got hit in the face.
How did they miss that call? Like,
that was insane.
He hit him with like his entire body in the face.
And he just comes off, goes to the locker room, comes back. Like few minutes of gameplay later, he gets hit in the twig and berries. Has to
by Sabonis's log of a leg.
Yep, he had to. I mean, I will give him credit, because I would have immediately started crying on the court and probably vomited, but he composed himself, went back to the locker room, came back. Then he it looks like he either tore his knee or tore his groin. Goes back to the locker room, comes back, and then even with a minute and a half left, Russell Westbrook is riding him halfway up the court trying to get a rebound. I kind of joked about it on Twitter. Like John posted, not good, Jaden's going to the locker room and took his jersey off. And I'm like, well, at least he didn't punch the wall, because
Gross.
This is maturity from a guy that in Washington, in college, he had kind of a a hot temper, and we've seen Jaden have a hot temper up until this career. I mean, how impressive was him just not strangling someone tonight?
Honestly, like, it was so badass too that he just came back into the game. Like, everyone just thought he was dead. Like,
Yep.
as soon as the jersey came off, I was like, oh my God, he tore his groin. He's gonna miss 3 months. And then it's like, okay, 5 minutes later, Jaden's checking back into the game.
He's Ant is rubbing off on him. He's
amount
becoming
of people
Ant.
that openly offered up their groin to Jaden McDaniels was honestly kind
Whoa.
of,
I don't know if you can say that.
I know he's been playing good, but that seems like a bridge too far.
No, it was like in person. The roar when he came back was deafening, which it is always amazing to me what players the fans like latch on to, because I mean, full disclosure, like Sneaker Reporter was covering Boston before he went Boston, Oklahoma City, Houston before coming here. So he wasn't here for the Zach LaVine days. And before the game, he's like, yo, just for my own knowledge, do like Minnesota fans like really like Zach LaVine, or is he like and it's kind of like, like I think fans on the overall are pretty indifferent, because like Zach wasn't.
There was a bit.
It was all potential. It was all potential with him.
There was a bit of a like post Jimmy Butler thing. There was a little bit of like yearning for like what could have been with Andrew Wiggins, Zach LaVine, and Karl Anthony Towns. I think a lot of that was mitigated by the fact that Zach LaVine and Andrew Wiggins have mostly just sucked outside like one playoff run for Andrew Wiggins. So it's like, yeah, they probably weren't that destined for greatness, because Zach LaVine like makes every team he's on actively worse. And Andrew Wiggins tried really hard for one playoff run.
Right.
It's just interesting to me that like Jaden McDaniels, massive fan favorite. Dante DiVincenzo, massive fan favorite. Like Naz Reid, massive fan favorite. But like Zach LaVine, meh. Andrew Wiggins, meh.
I think it just comes with winning. Like, everyone, when the team is winning.
You're also talking to a fan base that like worshiped Dante Cunningham for like 2 years though, and like Anthony Tolliver got like a raucous ovation from the like 87 people in the building, but still a raucous ovation nonetheless.
Yeah, but it's just like I think you're just more likely. Their fans are going to gravitate towards, like, fans love role players, first of all. Like, generally speaking, fans love role players. Fans really love role players when the team is good, because they love to be like, wow, that guy's not getting enough attention for the things he is doing, despite like every time they do something being like, wow, look at what he did. But like, and so I think that it's really like kind of that simple. It's like the team has been really good for like 5 years. Jaden's been on it the whole time. They drafted him. He's been something between a role player. Like, he's been a good role player, but he's been a role player. And so fans just kind of naturally gravitate towards those players. Like, we love Ant, but we're going to be more critical of Ant when things go wrong, because we expect so much from Ant, but we don't expect that much from the role players, because they're role players.
But we also love effort. So if you're like a high effort basketball player, and obviously it has to lead to winning basketball, but like Dante,
I don't know if I'd say it has to lead to winning. Like Josh Okogie was like fan favorite.
That led to some winning. He blocked Harden that one time, remember?
Yeah, but that team was terrible.
Josh Okogie was on but we won that
team.
game. We won that game. That was the one playoff game we won.
Was Josh Okogie was his last year the play-in Clippers year, or did he play the year after that too? He was never on a team with Rudy, was he?
No.
Yeah. So he was. He really wasn't.
You are right.
I'm just saying, like, Minnesotans, and I say this as a Minnesotan that watches Vikings Twins. Right. Like, there is nothing that you can endear yourself more to a Minnesota fan base than just being like that gritty underdog effort player.
Yeah, just trying. And I think that also, like, it's like if you overcome something. So like Jaden was like a raw prospect, and I know he was still a first round pick, but like seeing players develop over time, which is wild because I heard the head coach doesn't develop players, but seeing those guys develop is just like you're on the journey with them and you're rooting for them. And so having long tenure with the team and seeing that develop over time and putting in the work and seeing it pay off, you're on the journey with the player. One thing I was going to say quick about, we were talking about Jaden, just like his temper at times. Recently found out that he was on a Washington team with Isaiah Stewart. Can you imagine
you didn't know that?
No, I didn't. I did not know that.
That team was nuts.
That recently surfaced. I mean, I didn't pay a lot of attention to Washington basketball, even if they were in the tournament. I'm sure they were.
I
both
still
those guys.
don't, and I technically cover college basketball, so
yeah.
Don't
but
feel
like,
bad.
so that was an after the fact thing. Somebody just resurfaced that on Twitter, and I was like, that is an absurd pairing to have. Like, technical fouls waiting to happen, ejections, fights.
Yeah, and also, Durf, to your point of the longevity piece, like the fact that we've gotten to know Jaden McDaniels. I'm just looking this up now. How many guys do you think have played more seasons with the Timberwolves in their entire career than Jaden McDaniels?
I could just, so I know, how many seasons is it again? 6? This is 6 seasons.
This is year 6.
I mean, I would. Yeah,
I mean,
Durf, you go first.
That's tough. Like 12.
Like not 12 guys. Andrew,
I was gonna say like 25.
It's 8.
That is insane.
8 players who have played more than 6 seasons. There's 16 players if you do 6 seasons, but only 8 guys have played more than that. And it's all guys that the fan base gravitates towards. It's Wally Zerbiak, it's Ricky Rubio, it's Naz Reid, it's Gorgie Jang, maybe not Doug West, Karl Anthony Towns, Sam Mitchell, and Kevin Garnett. Like,
yeah.
When you're on a team for a really long time, those fans get attached to you.
Like, that's what this is. This is one of those like depressing lists where you're like, man, we've been a professional franchise for longer than I've been alive. And they have 8 guys.
Like 8 guys who are even like who've been on the team for a full contract.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'll just ask you guys, like, how satisfying is it to watch this Naz, Jaden, Ant, like having this opportunity for us? Because there is like an alternate timeline where like Jaden gets traded for Rudy or Naz leaves in free agency, but like it's not like we get these 3 guys for at least another 4 years, I would assume. But like, how satisfying has that been to like watch?
I mean, it genuinely makes it kind of weird because part of the fun. No, because like part of the fun as a fan base is like wish casting over trading for Ja Morant, or like the trade machine is super fun because it's like this math problem to be like, does this math problem work? But you're so emotionally invested in Jaden McDaniels and Naz Reid that you're like, all right, they're off limits in all my trade machine things. And it's like, well, now it's just impossible to trade for anybody because any trade for any reasonable good player that you dream up, you're like, oh, I guess I mathematically have to trade one of these guys. Well, I don't want to trade any of those guys.
Yeah. You have to look for whatever player you feel the least emotionally involved with, which doesn't really happen on a small roster like in basketball. Were you gonna keep going, Beck? I didn't mean to
no, I was just. I mean, that was a joking way of like. Obviously, fans are. That was part of the reason why everyone was so sad about the Karl Anthony Towns trade. Is like, you want to win. But if you can win, you also want to win with the guys that you have grown up with. You want to see guys from when they're drafted, or for like, you want guys on your team for a long time so you can get to know them and you can know their flaws and you can go to war for them on Twitter while everyone's like, what an overpay on that contract. We're like, you don't understand how good Jaden McDaniels is. Like,
sidebar, Jaden McDaniels, I don't know if they're engaged or if they're just like dating, but his significant other, the Twitter like laps she has been taking over this this last like 9 months has been just so heartening, because it's like, yep, now everyone is like, we can't trade Jaden for Ja, straight up. No,
she was a good hooper too. Did you know that?
Yeah, she played for Georgia Tech, didn't she?
Yeah, we want her on the pod at some point. I don't know if that's ever gonna happen, but
I will say massive respect to her and Jaden, because I know they were like pregnant this last year, but my first year covering the Lynx, they were at like a ton of games, like sitting in the cheap seats with like normal humans, which that's always just super endearing to me, is like, oh, you are normal.
Yeah, I mean, she's done a ton.
And it's very on brand for Jaden. Like I couldn't picture Jaden sitting courtside at something.
She's done a ton of like Twitter, like ticket giveaways or like, let me upgrade your seats, that kind of stuff, which is just super cool. Like you said, we love that. Very easy way to win over our hearts. But yeah, like to Beck's point, like seeing these guys succeed, watching them go from being draft picks to being exciting prospects to being good rotational players to being like all-stars or borderline all-stars in some cases, it's really fun, and it's something that we've just lacked for a long time. Like this, we're built on like overpaying for role players to play extended positions that don't work and then reset, like trade our good players away to just get future assets and stuff like that. So
we also just have a history of not having good players.
That's true. That's true. But the three that we did trade at one point. So and to just
also
see
like the Kevin Love, you move on from him. Like eventually, like Al Jefferson, you move on from him. Like it is
right. Vid Krejci, you move on from him. I mean, all the guys, all the big guys. But yeah, just to see that work finally is awesome, and it's sustainable. Like there's a certain amount of sustainability to future success that we are not used to have. We're used to having just the 2018 season and then back to bleakness. So yeah, it's cool. I mean, basketball is as much about the sport as it is the relationships with the players. Just because you get so much FaceTime with them, and it's such a small roster, you get to know them so well. So it's sick. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. It's a big fan.
Big fan. That's probably the best way to leave it.
Yeah.
Anything else, you guys? Any other parting thoughts you have? I know you were both on the pod already this season, but anything you want to plug? Again, congratulations for really leading Wolves Twitter into the mainstream to where, I mean, like Jimmy Fallon is tweeting out goosebumps. Like Julius, I will say, like when I was asking him that question, when I was like, so the trombone, like the beamingness he had of like, yeah, it's awesome. It was like pretty impressive. So like,
I don't know if the mainstream is ready for how weird Wolves Twitter is.
We're really weird.
That's the thing that like I try to explain to like other teams media, and especially with the Lynx, I was trying to do this a lot because they would be like, why when I say like an obscure like, man, I wish Natisha Heidemann was 10% better, do I get 77,000 angry Lynx fans coming at me? And it's like, it's just a Minnesota like basketball thing. Like these people are just so ingrained in their team, and they're so used to just like terribleness that like even the Lynx fans like are weird.
Yeah, for years no one was watching the Wolves except for us, so we could be as weird as we wanted to be because nobody was paying any attention. And now Anthony Edwards showed up, and now people are watching our games. And now the weirdness, it's part of our DNA.
Which, like, I will say, I think makes like the Naz Reid thing. I don't think Naz Reid becomes Naz Reid in any other market. Like even if he went to like the Lakers or something like that, you're not seeing like Naz Reid towels at Machu Picchu on Twitter if he's with the Lakers. It's kind of the same thing with like Jaden and like Rob Dillingham, where they just have these like fan bases that'll knife fight you if you say something wrong about them. But like that's the best part about being in the Minnesota market is like you can be a role player and have people want to knife fight people on the internet.
That's what it's all about. Knife fighting people on the internet. That's what we do it for.
For the love of the game.
For the love of the knives.
All right, guys. I appreciate you coming on. Crunch Wears No Pants. Brandon, Beck, Nate, Alsdurf. Again, anything you want to plug, anything you want to get out there. Brandon, what suite are you going to be in so fans can theoretically
dox yourself?
Yeah, I think it's suite 16 was what it was on my ticket. Yeah, going there with my coworkers, gonna explain the Goosebumps meme to all of them. They're going to see a very stressed out side of me they're not used to seeing.
So you don't care about work, huh?
I generally don't like to watch basketball games in front of people.
Yeah. Check out our podcast if you don't, or you don't have to. I don't care. Check us out on social media if you want. We like to do weird bits and have a good time. And at some point this season, we'll probably do some sort of caravan down to Iowa to go to an Iowa Wolves game because they're a blast. And so you guys should all come. We'll post details whenever we figure that out, but it probably won't be for a few months. So yeah,
again, Iowa underrated team right now. Like Rocco Zakarski, 7'4" Australian guy hitting threes.
Sorry, Wemby, your time's up already.
Yep, clock's ticking.
This is the new era of the NBA where just everyone over 7 foot can hit threes at a 40% clip for some reason.
Yeah, I don't want to go down like a Rocco Zakarski rabbit hole because I don't know if he's going to be any good at all. I will say it is pretty impressive that how good the shooting stroke looks. It's not just that he can make threes. He looks like a normal person when he shoots them.
He's also a guy that is so like he was a projected lottery pick before the last season he played in Australia, which is insane because he was going into his age 18-year-old season for an actual professional men's basketball team in Australia. And then he played like 15 minutes a game and never got a chance to showcase anything. So like no one really knows what he can do.
He's big and he can shoot.
Yeah, we got Boban with Steph shooting. I don't know how the league let it happen, but
I will say Boban with Steph shooting would be insane. Just sprinting, just gigantic guy sprinting off screen.
It's just like it's a creative player, but you just move the sliders all the way to the end.
It is. I mean, honestly, it is kind of crazy that like,
yeah, it's wild.
You know, I know there's a lot of like Wolves development jokes that you can insert here, but like both of those guys are like pretty good bets if you're just going to like throw a late round pick at somebody like, hey, here's a French kid that barely has played basketball and there's an Australian guy that can hit threes. Why not?
Yep.
I can't wait.
The
Rocco versus Wemby battles.
We're going to have a future double big lineup and it's those
conference finals 3 years from now. That's the graphic. Rocco Zakarski and Victor Wembanyama.
If that's the graphic, I don't think my brain will be able to comprehend it.
In 4 or 5 years, we're gonna have a DPOY in Yon and then a 3-point champ in Rocco. So I don't know. It's gonna be a crazy.
The new Jordan and Pippen. Yeah, this is where evolution has brought us.
Just on the other end of the lineup.
All right, guys. Appreciate you. For anyone that jumped into this pod late, it will be up anywhere you get your podcast at The Missing Wolves, up tomorrow at 7 a.m. And good grief, we're going to do this again tomorrow after the Nuggets game. I'll be coming live from the Target Center again, so it will be streaming a little bit later after the game ends. So you guys can go hang out with Locked On and Jack or Howls and Horns or Wolves After Dark or any of the like 97 Wolves live streams. But for the people that come in here, really appreciate you. But thank you for Brandon, Nate for coming on. Appreciate it as always, even when it's a last minute thing. And I'm like, hey, can both of you guys do something in 4 hours?
This is just what we just be doing this in the group chat anyway.
My Fridays open every weekend just for you. So
after every Wolves game, I have 2 hours of just thinking about the Wolves reserved afterwards.
If they win, Brandon's just like screaming it from his garage. If they lose, he's just like in a cold shower for 2 hours.
No joke. When they lose like heartbreaking playoff games, if it's on the weekend, I will typically just play video games for like 5 hours afterwards because I need something to like shut my brain off.
We're getting like stress texts from him at like 2 a.m. of him being like, I still can't believe it.
Can't believe they had 7 turnovers in 1 quarter. How can they not bring the ball up? All right, guys. Appreciate you both. For everyone else, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
See ya.
See ya.